Here we go. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. And welcome to the fourth live talk by the Oxford University Italian Society. Our student association tries to favor the exchange of ideas between students, professors, and influential Italian guests. Today, we have the privilege to host Paralympic, World, and European wheelchair fencing champion, Bebe Vio. Good morning, Bebe.
Hi.
Bebe Vio is an Italian wheelchair fencer. Among her impressive titles, she has been double European champion, double world champion, and Paralympic champion in Rio 2016. Besides sport, she's an influential public figure. She directed her own show on the Italian national television, where she raised awareness on diversity and early vaccination. In 2009, with her parents, she founded the non-profit organization Art for Sport, which promotes sport for young people with physical disabilities. This morning, we will have some questions by our committee, followed by questions from you, the audience. So please feel free to leave your questions below, and I will be very happy to read them out to Bebe. So, Bebe, after this very long introduction, how are you today? How are you today?
You told everything about me, so I don't know how I have to say now.
I see. How are you today, and where are you now?
I'm super fine. I'm in my house in Venice, like close to Venice. It's a little bit city called Mogliano Veneto. Nobody knows it. This is like famous just for the prosecco and for the rugby. We don't have anything else here. But I'm living in Rome because of the university, because I'm doing the university there, and of course because of the training. So now I'm happy. It's my weekend, free weekend with my family. So I'm super happy about it.
Okay, you were telling me earlier that you have a very interesting you have a very interesting weekend, a very interesting plan. Would you like to share with the other people? How do you spend your Sunday morning?
Now, yesterday I was here with my family because the day after, the day before, it was my brother's birthday. So I went there for this region. And today I'm gonna go to have lunch to the seaside. So I'm so happy because it's so long that I didn't see the sea. So I'm super happy to see my old friend because, of course, so living in Rome, I don't see my friends here. So when I have the free weekend, I always come here to my family and my friends too. So I'm super happy about it.
Nice. That sounds super cool. Nice. Among our audience, we have people coming from all over the world. We have some Brazilians, some Americans.
Bom dia!
Everywhere.
The only thing that I can say in Brazilian.
Brazil. Yeah, they come from everywhere in the world. So how would you introduce yourself to them? I think my introduction doesn't make any justice to who you are. So how would you introduce yourself?
I don't know. I'm a 20 years old girl. I'm from Venice, but I live in Rome. I'm an athlete because I began fencing when I was 5 years old with my legs, with my arms. I have everything. And then in 2000, so I began fencing when I was really, really young. And I completely fell in love with this kind of sport and with the sport in general because I really love every kind of action. It is so emotional for me. So I love this kind of mix of emotional together. And then when I was 11 years old, I got this disease that it's like a meningitis. So it was like an infection of the blood. And so to make me be part of the world, they had to amputate both my legs and my arms. So now I got prosthetics. I don't know if you can see them. And so I began like a kind of new life, completely new life, because, you know, it's completely different when you have your legs and your full body, and then you don't have a much, like 40% of it. So I began this kind of new life through, and I have to really to say that my team, that was my family at the moment, was such an important support for me because I got like an older brother and a younger sister, and we create like a real like team, like a sport team, because my mom is like the boss of the team, and then there is my father, and then we are like me and my siblings there, we are part of like the functional team. And so I think I was really, really lucky to be alive because of my disease. With my disease, 97% of people died like in the first 48 hours. So I think in the Sfiga, in the bad luck, I found a really a big part of the lucky thing. So, and then I began again with fencing, but of course without the prosthetics, without the arms and the legs, I began like a wheelchair fencing. So it was a completely new kind of fencing for me, and it was weird at the beginning because it's completely different between the stand-up one. And nothing, I began again with that, and at the beginning it was like just be part of the sport or to be part of the world, because the sport, as you can see, like Italian people in Oxford, you create your community, and for me it's the same, because I'm part of my community is made of athletes. So for me to be part of this new life again through the sport was the most important things. And then we created the profit association. That was necessary for us, because I don't know if you know, but like I don't know either, like how is it in the rest of the world, but in Italy, if you have prosthetics, if you are a prosthetics user and you want to do sport, but you don't have like you don't have some like results as like Olympics and stuff like this. And I was 11 years old, so of course I didn't have Olympics medal on my neck. And so in Italy, the state doesn't help you to buy prosthetics, to buy like the wheelchair for fencing and all. So my parents created this non-profit association in order to help all the guy with amputation to be part of the society through the sport, as I told before, because for us was necessary. And nothing, we created this non-profit association, and it's incredible. We have like 35 guys from 3 years old to 30. So you can see like this little guy without legs trying to run with his prosthetics, and it's so cool. And I have really to say that they are my inspiration. So many times everyone asks me like, who's your idol, who you thinking about before a competition and all. And everybody thought about, well, I don't know, Valentina Vezzali, Bolt, Serena Williams, and all these kind of people. But if I have really to think about who makes me really happy and who makes me like pushing ahead every time, I really think about this young guy who try to enjoy their life through a sport. I don't know. I think I've spoken a lot. You can stop me wherever you want.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's always so fascinating to hear about your story. It's incredible, and of course you make it sound very easy. But I believe that was a long path, and I'm sure that so many people will resonate with me that this is just incredible. You have a very strong and explosive personality. Now we have seen this in these 5 minutes that you are basically just you have an explosive personality. Yeah. Would you like to tell us about one time where you felt not so explosive, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, of course, every time I make it like so easy, but it was not absolutely. It was tough, but it was not sad. That was my father told me every time. So for us, of course, it's tough, because of course it's an important disease. Of course, life is tough, and I was like under a month of shit. Like, may I say shit in Oxford? I don't know if you yeah, anyway, it was tough, let me say like this. And so, but as I told you before, like my luckiest part is that I'm part of a really great family. We are, my parents made us as a real team, because of they thought that if you have a team, you can do whatever you want. If you're alone, you will never go anywhere. So for me, every time that I have to do something, I just speak with my parents, I just speak with my siblings, I speak with my roommates, my friends and all. So for me, have my great team with me, because when you have the same goal with another person, when you have the same goal of your team, and you're not alone. I don't have like my own goal and I fight to go there. I just have like a bigger goal that I have to achieve with all my family, with all my friends, with all my team. So I think every time that you are like down, that you don't feel to be like, how many people, I think like everyone thinks that we are not incredible. We are not, I don't know, personally, I think that I'm not invincible. But every time that something happens, I always try to find like the good part of it, of course, as everyone tries to do. And either I think that it's most of the time it's tougher to find the bad part instead of finding the good part, the good one. I think it's so much easier to just think about the positive thing, just think about, okay, what happened? Okay, let's we try to analyze it, and let's we try to find the good way to get off of this. And if I don't go out of this by myself, it's much better, because I want to be off of this with my family, with my team. We always want to win together.
Absolutely. That's so true. Like I believe that among our students, we often hear this story of like teamwork, and especially like even getting into Oxford. I don't know how relatable that is to you and your experience, but
I went in Oxford for 3 weeks. I don't know if I can say that I studied in Oxford because it was just 3 weeks.
But now you can see that you came to Oxford technically.
Yeah, okay.
So definitely. The next question is about your role as a role model for many of our young generations and the generations to come. Do you ever feel the pressure of representing us in a way?
Sometimes at the beginning it was like very difficult to understand the things because when I won the Olympics, I was 19 years old. So I am because I'm 23 years old now. So I cannot say that I was young at 19 and I'm old now. But, the difference is that after the Olympics and after most of the time, like because of the selfie with Obama and all this stuff, I became like very famous. And for me was really weird because going around like my city and going around like traveling around the world, and when someone stopped me and asked me for a picture, it was very weird. It's so weird for me at the beginning. But now when you realize that like a young guy comes to you and say, okay, I began sport because of you, and you realize that for me sport is the most important thing of my life, is the things that makes me stand up every morning, wake up from my bed and say like put my legs on and say, okay, we do the first step because I'm looking forward to see what we're going to do today. So for me it's incredible when I see like all these young guys practice fencing. Doesn't mean like really fencing, but either whatever kind of sport. I think that I can try to make people think about how much is important to live as a group, because that's why I'm doing like great things, but just because I have my team. So this is what I'm trying to spread around the world. Okay, be part of a team and go and win whatever you want with them. And another weird thing, super weird thing for me, was when they created the Barbie. I don't know if you saw.
Yes.
Yes. Barbie without the legs and without the arms. So I was like, what is happening here? All the Barbie was like super skinny with this long blonde hair. And so for me were really strange to think, because I used to play with Barbie when I was young. So now with this Barbie that it's so similar to me, it's really incredible. But then I realized that how much like my task now in the world, like in Italy in particular, because I'm trying to work about Italian people, is that I have to try to let people understand that if you have a disability, it doesn't mean that you cannot do something. You just start like from some step behind. If you have your legs, of course it's easier to wake up in the morning, but if I don't have legs, I just need to put my legs on, and then I can do whatever I want, because I can do the same thing that you do, and either if I try, I can do maybe better than another one. So my task now in Italy is to try to let people understand that disability is just like a physical things, and it's just like starting from a little bit behind, but we all want to win something. We all want to reach our dream. We want to achieve our like mental goals. So I think it's weird, but it's cool. I'm enjoying a lot of my life. I don't know if you can see them.
Oh no, that absolutely. Like you are touching with so many of my questions already. So that's
I'm so sorry every time, because I don't want the question before. So every time I just start speaking and everyone is like, "Oh no, you answered to the question. I have to do it later."
No, that's fantastic. You're making my job very easy. Like, and it's always a pleasure to hear from you. Like, probably one of the things you didn't touch is you talked a lot about these amazing titles and experiences. Which one is the one that you are the proudest of?
Of the medals?
Medals, but also like life experiences, things that you would like to share in particular.
Like thinking about the sport achievement, I think I would say the bronze medal that we won at the Paralympic game in Rio, because it was not a gold, because 2 days before I achieved the gold. So everyone thought that for me the gold is the most important one, because of this is the goal, of course. But if I have to think like about the best moment of my life, I think I should think about the bronze medal because I was there with my team. I went to be part. I began to be part of my team when I was 14 years old. So I was really young. It was my first experience out of my house, out of my family. So it was so weird for me. I was the only one girl and the youngest girl of the national team. So either the thing was special in some way. And then, like 2 years after, in the team, arrived to be part like other two girls. And we create our like small team of girls, and I'm sorry, I have to switch these things off. Like, okay, because it's ringing. I don't know if you can listen. I'm sorry.
No problem. I didn't hear it.
Okay. And so we created to be part of, and I created like a kind of another family, because I got these two girls part of my team, and they are much younger, much older than me, because the Loredana, she's the boss of the team, and she's like 43 years old, and then Andrea, she's 33 years old, and I'm 23, so we have 10 step by 10, and we create our like kind of small family. And when you go to be part of an Olympic Games, everybody think that, okay, that's your dream, you was born with that dream to be part of that, so that will be like the best moment of your life. But it is not like this, because during the Paralympics game, I realized that I spent like the wrongest moment of my life, the baddest moment of my life, and either the best moment of my life. Because when you're there and you are part of the team, you just realize that you don't have like your own problem in your mind. You just have the problems of all the team. Because I don't know, maybe I have a face of someone who you have to speak with, and you have to tell all the problem to this face. I don't know why. So all my team used to say everything to me, and so was really tough for me to have all that them problem, and just say, okay, girls, don't worry, we can do that. We can do wherever we want. Let's do this. And so then when we won that medals, because we just qualified for the Olympics just for like random, because we were not part of the qualification in Rio. But then like the Russian team, because of the doping,
got disqualified.
Went to pick out. So the first team out of Russia was Italy. And so we found that we were there as a team, completely random. So it was like, okay, let's retry to do that. We would never earn anything, but let's retry it. So when we were there, we just tried to fight for I don't know, maybe it was our dream, and we were part of our dream. So what's that emotion like was like much bigger than us. And then when we were there, we just won a competition, then we won another one, then we went another one, then we went to the semi-final. I was like, how is this possible? We are part of the semi-final. It's incredible. And then we lost the semi-final. So we were like completely down. And then after that, we went to do the third and the fourth place. And like the team competition is like a staffetta. I don't know how to say staffetta in English. I'm so sorry.
Relay.
It's a kind of relay. So, and there is like this scale of people. So I have to begin, and then there is another one, and there is another girl, and we have to fight all the girls against the other, of course, against the other team. And usually the boss of the team does the last match. So it's like we have to arrive to 45 points. So from 40 to 45 points. So I was ready to be there because I'm the youngest part of the team. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be part of the team. But I don't have like some kind of responsibilities. But at the end, the coach, last match, he went to me and he told me, okay, Bebe, you have to close the match. I was like, I don't want to close the match. I don't want to have the responsibility, because when you are there, you're not just that team. You're representing like a whole nation. Like I have written here like Italy, super big. So it's not Bebe. It's like the entire nation, the entire and you know how much is Italy. And so for me, it was such an important thing, and I was so scared about it. And we were losing at the beginning, so I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm so scared. So that you're the boss. Come on, you have to do that. So it was incredible. And then we don't know how, but we won the bronze medal. And that moment when you realize that you are part of a team, you're representing you. I didn't won. Italy won and a bronze medal. So we just started crying a lot. I'm not crying either now because thinking about these things. We started crying a lot, and we were like the happiest person in the world. All the team came there, and we just cheers a lot. We were all together, everyone crying, everyone like hugging each other. So it was such an incredible moment, and be part of that moment that is part of the history of Italy was such an incredible thing for me. And I think that will be like that. This is the best moment of my life, I think.
That's amazing. I mean, you make it again. You make it sound like, easy. Like, like a guy. This is absolutely fantastic. Like, you know, especially like after all of the experiences that you had with the disease, you still managed to came back and then become the leader of the national team, and then you're so young. It's amazing, seriously. Now, now, besides sport, I see like you have selfies with the Pope, with Obama, and I have to
I'm
ask you.
looking for the queen, for your queen in England.
Yeah, I'm sure that Queen Elizabeth would be very happy to take a picture
Yeah.
with you. Of course, she's very friendly. Uh,
Do you know her?
I guess. I guess. Um, would you, in terms of like famous personalities that you have met, would you like to share something with us? How was meeting Obama? Wow, how was it?
It's incredible for me because at my university, I'm like one of the like just few of Italians, so and nobody knows about me. So my roommates, the American one, they didn't know about me. So and when they asked me my Instagram, I was like, I don't have Instagram. I don't want to tell you what's my Instagram because I don't want to they know about it. And then they looking because when we go around Italy, of course, there's people asking me for photo, and they were telling me, why are you asking for photo? Because they doesn't speak Italian. So they were like, why are they asking you for photo? I was like, they are my old friend, I didn't see them for such a long time, so that's why they are asking me picture. And then they looking for me like in YouTube, like in the internet, and they found out that I did a selfie with that president. I was like, why you didn't tell us that you took a picture with the president? And so for me, it was such a weird thing. I don't know how can I say about him. It's like he's cool. He's like super chill. He's really like he's like super flying. He's like, hey baby, how are you? How you doing? Do you like here the situation? I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool location. This is the White House. I don't want to invite you to my house because I know it's white, but it's not the same kind of house. So it was such a like incredible thing. But for me, it was not incredible to do the selfie because that was just something that I was like, either because it wasn't legal to do a selfie, to have a selfie with the president. So, and I did like such an illegal thing, and he took the picture. I was like, mi raccomando, doesn't post it. I was like, no, I will never post it. Don't worry. And then a few hours after, I was like, yeah, I thought I fancy with Obama.
Amazing.
It was incredible. But the most incredible thing for me was that that was his last presidential dinner.
Oh wow! Okay.
So it was like official dinner as a president. So that was an incredible thing, and I was there because the premier of our nation, he decided to go there with a representative for each like kind of section in Italy. Some subject, some matter in which we are like so proud about it. So there was like Giorgio Armani for the fashion. There was like Sorrentino and Benigni for film and television. Was like, and then there was like the president of the MoMA. She's an Italian woman. That the MoMA Museum in New York. So she was like Italian people around the world, and then you see like Sorrentino, this girl, like and Magistrata against the Mafia, and then all this stuff, and then there was my name. There was like, is that a joke? Are you kidding? Why there's my name up there? Yeah, baby, we want to bring you because you are like you can represent the sport. And it was like, in Italy we have Totti. Why are you bringing me? If you have Francesco Totti, why you are bringing like Bebe Vio? Who's that girl? So for me, it was incredible to represent either Totti. I was there for Totti too. So that was a much like the incredible things for me. And I don't know, was like 2 days because I didn't spend like there a lot of time. We just went there with the presidential airplane. So that's an incredible thing, And then I was in the airplane, with Sorrenti, with Roberto Benigni. I was like, what is happening? I'm in an airplane with him. And then we arrived there. We just have like the opening ceremony, and then we just went to change our clothes, and then directly the dinner. And then after the dinner, we just took the airplane to go back to Italy, and we arrived directly after the dinner. And we arrived in Italy, like in Florence, in the 5 a.m. So it was such a like 48 hours of incredible things. I was like, is that happening for real, or am I dreaming? So I don't know what is happening, it's such an incredible thing that you cannot either, it's one of the things that you will never plan in your life to do. So maybe that's why it was like such an incredible thing for me.
But that's amazing. I mean, and that's another testimony that you are so amazing, and you truly represent not only people with disabilities, but also like the true essence of being an Italian sportswoman, but also an Italian itself. I think like learning from you, from your interviews, from the amazing things you have done. Like I not only met a sportswoman, I met an example of being an Italian.
Thank you so much.
Seriously. So this, I guess, the time is over for me. Thank you very much for answering my question. And now we'll take some questions from our audience. But before we start, I need to warn you that Oxford students, they always ask political questions. So be ready for.
I'm so bad at this. I don't know nothing about the Italian politics. I have to say that.
Okay, that's very good. It's good that you say that. So let's start from an easy one. Okay, Giorgio Ramazzotti asks, if you were either the president of the Italian Olympic Committee or the president of the International Olympic Committee, what would you do to decrease the distance between Paralympic and Olympic Games?
The thing is that, like, here in Italy, I'm trying to work about it, and my dream is to be the president of the CONI, the National Committee of Sport in Italy. So that's my dream, and that's what I really want to do. And in Italy, there is the CONI, that is like the national committee, and then there are all the federations downstairs, like. I don't know, like the soccer federation, the fencing federation, that is my favorite one, of course. And then there is the volleyball one. So every sport has their own federation. And a few years ago, like 9 years ago, like maybe 8, I don't know, I don't remember when. In Italy, there were both, like the Olympic Federation of Fencing. Now I'm doing like an example just with fencing because it's the one that I know better. So there were like the Federation of Fencing and the Paralympic Federation of Fencing. So those were two separate things. My task was to create an only one. So we create like only one federation, and it's like the Italian sport, like the Italian Fencing Federation, because we don't have to separate Olympics and Paralympics. The sport is the same. What we need is the same. We need the same coaches. We need the same physiotherapists. We need the same staff of, like, I don't know, the nutritionist and like everything that you need. So for us, the most important thing was to create only one federation, and that was we did like in 8 years ago. And both the national, like the Olympic and the Paralympic Federation of Fencing in Italy, both of them, they grew up a lot being together. And that's what we did with other, like, I suppose we are like 19 federations in Italy now. They are together, like between Olympics and Paralympics. And my dream is, my goal in a way is to create all the federation in Italy. I want to unite all of them. Like, I just want to have like the federation of, like, the family of fencing, the family of volleyball, only one federation for both Olympic and Paralympics. And at the end, when I will do, I want to try to do, I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I will try. At the end of all the unification of all the singular federation, you can unify the general committee. So in this way, it should be like the CIP, there is the Italian Paralympic Committee, and the CONI, there is the National Olympic Committee. The Olympic one. So my dream is to unify all of these small things, because we cannot like push directly Olympics and Paralympics together, because it's too early. We just have to work from the base. We have to work from every single athletes, because, like, with fencing now, you have like so many Paralympic athletes in fencing. If you go in most of the Italian gym of fencing, you will find a wheelchair and the things for like wheelchair fencing. And the athletes, like Olympic athletes, used to fence against the Paralympic athletes, because of course we have to grow together. And if you start working from the single federation, you will unify all the people, and all the culture of Paralympics will and of disability in general will grow a lot. So that's what I want to try to do.
It's very interesting. Like, of course, coming from a political background, it would be a bottom-up approach, like if it starts from the athletes, or top-down in a way. Like, and it would be institutional, but I believe that it will have a real effect on real people, and that would be fantastic. The next question is from Cecilia Corsini, who asks, and this is more political. In Italy, I need to warn you. In Italy, we are experiencing the rise of anti-vaccination movements that are now converging into a political movement, allegedly. What is your thought on that?
You know, when I got the disease, when I got the meningitis, 1 year before, another young guy close to my city, he had my same disease and he lost both his legs. And then my mom, because she had like, of course, 3 children, she went to the ASL. I don't know how to say ASL in English. I'm sorry.
I would say like we could say the hospital. We could say
the hospital. And she went there. My mom went there and he asked for this vaccine. And this nurse, she told to my mother, "Don't worry, your children, they don't need the vaccine." And then 1 year later, I got that disease. So I think that maybe either because my siblings, of course, they didn't have the disease, but if I have done the vaccine, I didn't have I didn't have my disease. So for me of course, I'm happy because I'm alive now. Of course, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm happy for my life now, but I think I will never curare.
Okay, I see.
I will never wish my disease to another family, but not because of me, but because how much my parents suffer. And really, if you are a parent, if you have a mom, or if you are a father, I will never want to live this disease with my children, because it's super tough. Because every day you go home with no knowing if your daughter will survive during the night, and not for 1 day, not for 1 week. Is such a long period, because I spent 104 days in the hospital. So I think it's such a bad thing. And I think if there are this kind of vaccine, I will ever do that. I'm no one to say do the vaccine to you. You have to study, you have to understand if you want to do that or not. But I think I'm doing the vaccine, and that's what I think that is fine for me. After the disease, I did the vaccine, but it was too early, it was too late, of course. Mm-hmm. So my opinion is this one. I think I do this. So of course you have to study, you have to ask. I went directly to the doctor. I'm sorry, that's my dog. I went directly to the doctor to who invented the vaccine for my disease, because he's an Italian doctor. And I'm so proud to have this person who could help me. And he's Italian, so he's part of my team, in some way. That's per favore. So I think we have to be proud of all the invention, like the scientific invention that we are finding.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing that. Final question that we have from our audience comes from Anna Innocenti, who asks, what's your motto in life, and what is the first thing that pops up in your mind when you are down?
When I'm down, I know that so many people, either my roommate in the morning, because I'm the one, we are 5 at home, so we are a lot. 5 girls, and it's tough. 5 girls in one house is really tough. So when I wake up in the morning, every time I go down with the music super loud, and I say, okay, guys, good morning, let's do that. We can do a coffee. I'm doing a coffee. Who wants a coffee? So I'm always like this. So I know that if I don't wake up in the morning like this, I know that my roommate will be like, what is happening to you? Why you're not screaming? Why you are not breaking our balls, as every morning? Why your music is not super loud? And so I think it's too easy when you walk around, or you go at university, or you go to your job and all, and you see someone like really sad, and he never, like, I don't know, they don't say like hi, they don't say how are you and all this stuff. They are just like super sad, and they just go to work and all. And I think when I see someone like super sad, I become sad too. So I think it could be like the same thing if you're super happy. If you're super happy, you can make like just smiling someone else happy. So I think that my task is to make my roommates happy, and then my classmate at university like happy, my team happy. So if I'm always a happy person, it becomes a kind of my job to make people happy, because if I see someone happy, I'm happy too. So I don't know if it's like I don't know if I make someone happy just because I want to be happy, because I don't know if you understand it, but it's a kind of, happiness is so easy to be shared. So why not sharing it?
Amazing. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
This is, again, I'm saying final so many times, but actually this is from the committee, because we always end our interviews with this question. You told us a lot of fun facts, but what is the one that you always bring with you? Like something crazy that happened to you and always makes you smile?
Once I was having an aperitivo, of course, because I'm Italian, I'm from Venice, so I do a lot of aperitivi. I was doing an aperitivo with my friend, and I was there, and this little girl came to me, and she was like, "Hi, what happened to your hands?" I was like, this is plastic. Can you see that? And she was like, "Yeah, this is plastic. And what else is plastic?" I was like, "My legs too. Those are plastic." I was like, "Oh my God, you're made of plastic." I was like, "Yeah, of course." And she just started like touching me, like, "Is this plastic? Is this plastic? Is this plastic?" So she was touching me everywhere. And so I was like, "Is this plastic? No, this is real, and this is plastic. This is real, and this is plastic." And she was like, and then you are two girls having an aperitivo. So when this little girl came to us, I was like super happy about it, because it's like, it's so cool how like guys, like children, they don't have like filters. They just ask what comes in their mind. And so her mom just called me here. I was like, "Come here, don't disturb those two girls. They're having an aperitivo." And she was like, "Mom, shut up. I'm speaking with a Barbie, She's my Barbie. She's blonde and she's made of plastic. She's a Barbie." And I was like, I was so proud of this, because few years ago, if you think about like disability, they just think about poor people, like sad people. They cannot do anything. But now, if you think about disability, you think about sport. You think about people with power, with like human power. You think about the Barbie. I don't know, something like that. So I think how we are trying to change the mentality in Italy about the Paralympic culture is such an amazing thing, and we can do much more with it. And if you start from the school, if you start from the like children, you can really earn something really, really important in your life.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing this with us and for your time, for answering our questions. I hope that we will be able to invite you to Oxford for real in person.
When I come there.
Yeah. Absolutely. That would be amazing for us. And
not only to the Harrods shop and
oh, definitely. You can we can book any room that you want, I'm sure. Thank you very much, Bebe.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
You too. Goodbye. I hope that you enjoyed our interview with Bebe Vio. And if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Facebook pages, Facebook and Instagram pages. And before ending, I would like to say thank you to Emma Baldassarri, Fabio Spagliardi, our secretary and IT officers, also Giorgia Ramazzotti, Cecilia Corsini, and James Magia, our press officers, and our sponsors for allowing us to continue our activities and interviews, in particular Banca Intesa and Bibuona. Thank you again very much for joining us, and we hope to see you soon for our future interviews. Goodbye.